Egypt is not only one of the most important countries of the Maghreb, but it also has the most history. The story of ancient Egypt covers about 4,000 years of history, with 30 reigning dynasties acknowledged on an archaeological and historical level. Egypt's recent history is also very interesting. The country, first territory of the Ottoman Empire, and then an English protectorate, gained in the years between the two great wars more than 25,000 Italian inhabitants. It was in 1896 that Don Don Bosco's successor, founded the first college and the first Italian school. In the school register, among the names of the Italian students, you can also find the name of the famous poet of the 1900s, Giuseppe Ungaretti, who finished his elementary education here in 1900. Notwithstanding dramatic past events, the Salesians have always been a constant presence in the country, firstly teaching Italians and then teaching young Egyptians.
معهد دون بوسكو الإسكندرية بدأ سنة
The Salesian work in Alexandria was founded in 1896. It was opened initially for Italian immigrants and then extended to other immigrants in Egypt. At present, it is open only to Egyptian inhabitants. Created as an Italian school, over time it became a professional school. And from 1976 also became a primary school for the younger pupils. Even though the school is Salesian, it is also frequented by non-Christian families, especially Muslims, sometimes even the most conservative, therefore completely covered by the burqa. When they are asked why they send their children to a Catholic school, they reply it is because the education is extremely good. In this school, there are 641 pupils, 3 sections, a garden for the younger children, elementary and middle schools. Most of the pupils that come to our primary school then continue to study in our scientific and classic high school. Then about 10 or 15 of these young people carry on studying at the Italian professional school within our institute. The number of students who would like to subscribe to our school is a great deal more than the number of places available, so a selection takes place months before, during the intensive course of the Italian language. Who manages to learn Italian with greater ease will then be allowed to subscribe to the professional school.
التخصصات اللي موجودة في معهد دون بوسكو احنا عندنا تخصصين قسمين رئيسيين.
We have mainly 2 sectors. A mechanical sector with mechanical programming, where the students study turning, CNC programming, and all the essentials for mechanical programming. And an electrical and electro-technical section, where they study all the electrical elements for solar paneling.
بالنسبة لطلبة المعهد أقسام ميكانيكا وأقسام كهرباء.
Our students of the mechanical and electrical sections study, as well as the usual scholastic material, a curriculum of advanced technical material. For example, the mechanics, as well as studying turning and milling, also study numerical controls and AutoCAD.
يدرس العلوم الميكانيكية المتقدمة مثل CNC، مثل الأوتوكاد، طبعا معلش مش بترجمه بالعربي لأن دول.
The electricians, as well as electrotechnical material and electrical installation, also study pneumatics, electro-pneumatics, and specific advanced science.
مواد الهندسة الكهربائية والتصميمات الكهربائية بيدرس أيضا المواد المتقدمة أو العلوم المتقدمة مثل علوم النيوماتكس، دراسة الهواء المضغوط، مثل علوم PLCs، اللي هي البرمجيات الحديثة في المجال التخصص بتاعه. ده بيعطي للطالب إذا كان طالب ميكانيكا أو طالب كهرباء بيديله ميزة خاصة لما يتقدم لسوق العمل.
الطلبة بيخشوا المدرسة عندنا في تقريبا 14 سنة.
The length of the course is 3 years. Therefore, it is a triennial school, at the end of which they receive a diploma which is legally accepted, being an officially recognized Italian school, acknowledged by both the Italian and Egyptian governments. This means that the young people can continue their studies both in Italy and Egypt. Generally, we have about 60 to 70 high school leavers each year between the two sections, mechanics and electrics. Among these, about 50% go on to university so that they can gain higher qualifications. Many of them during their university studies continue to work so that they can put into practice that which they learned at the Don Bosco Professional School. The remaining 50% of the students begin working within their applied sectors, whereas a small group take advantage of the linguistic knowledge they have acquired during their studies to work in tourism.
والتعليم كتعليم اللغة الإيطالية اللي هم استخدموه هنا وتعلموه في المعهد بحكم إن الدراسة طبعا عندنا كلها بتتم باللغة الإيطالية داخل المعهد.
After lessons are over, the school courtyards are not left empty, but they open up to welcome the young people of the oratory who play football. Football is the favourite sport in this country, and the school courtyard is open to everyone. It is an ideal place for the young people of the city who are forced to live in small and stifling apartments. As we were taught and helped by the Salesians when we were small, now it is our turn to teach and help the younger children, so that when they are older, it will be their turn to help others.
أنا أول لما جيت دون بوسكو من حوالي 7-8 سنين كده، أول حاجة كنت جاي أصلاً مش عارف يعني إيه دون بوسكو. فأول لما جيت هنا كانت دون بوسكو.
When I came here as a youngster, at 8-9 years old, to the Don Bosco Institute, I was mainly interested in the sporting activities. But slowly I began to discover the beauty of interpersonal relationships, and above all, I learned to appreciate this family spirit. A spirit where there are no barriers between the diverse religions. We feel truly united. From Alexandria we reach Cairo, capital of the country, a true metropolis where the number of inhabitants grows rapidly. At present, it is estimated that more than 20 million people live in the urban area irrigated by the River Nile, source of life for everyone, both humans and animals. The buildings of the populated areas spread out inexorably and mass together, leaving only a small space between them for light and air to pass. The Salesian work at Cairo, Rod El Farag, known by everybody as Don Bosco, was built in 1926 with the laying of the foundation stone by General Cadorna. It was created as an extension of the house at Alexandria, because the first Salesian presence in Egypt was in Alexandria. Then they moved to Cairo in 1887-89, and in 1926 they began building. This district, Shubra, mostly Christian, is highly populated with almost 5 million inhabitants. It could be compared to an Italian town. As it began, scholastic activities with the high school and accountancy school for Italians and children of Italians who were working for Italian companies with an Egyptian headquarters.
معهد الساليزيان دون بوسكو هي مدرسة إيطالية مصرية شغالة في مصر بقالها.
This is an officially acknowledged Italian school in Egypt. There are two educational choices, professional and technical. The total number of students is 760. In the last 3 years, the number of students has grown. In fact, we passed from 530 students to 760. In the Professional Institute, there are two important subject choices, electrotechnical and mechanical.
بس التخصص بيكون من الناحية الفنية أكتر من الناحية اللي هي العملية.
الأولاد عندنا في المدرسة سنهم تقريباً من 14 ل 19.
Our young people are aged between 14 and 19 years old in the technical school. And in the professional school, they are aged between 14 and 60. Some come from Cairo, but 15% of our youngsters come from the northern part of Egypt. They cannot stay here alone, so some come with their parents. Others find an apartment to share. Others live in church apartments and are followed by their tutors who take care of the youngsters during their studies.
أنا اسمي كرولوس روماني، عندي 19 سنة، عايش في القاهرة هنا. أنا في المدرسة دي بدرس في المدرسة دي.
I'm Kyrillos Romani. I'm 19 years old and I live here in Cairo. I go to the Don Bosco Salesian School and I'm in my 5th year of the electrotechnical course.
أنا اسمي يوسف، عندي 19 سنة.
I'm Youssef, I'm 19 years old and I come from Cairo. I am in my 5th year at the Don Bosco School. I would like to study mechanical engineering in Italy.
أنا لو عايز بعد ما أخرج من المدرسة ديت.
My dream for my future is to carry on studying within the same field, the electrotechnical field. I don't know where yet, but I have various choices.
في نفس القسم بتاعي اللي هو الكهرباء.
من أكتر من 25 سنة كان عندنا قناعة إن إحنا لازم يكون عندنا.
More than 25 years ago, we conceived the idea that companies should be connected in some way to the school environment. There should be requests on behalf of industries and technical factories, so that we can satisfy the need for qualified technicians. This improves not only the school environment, but also the working world.
وقدرنا كمان إن إحنا نعمل تدريب صيفي للولاد ان هم يقدروا يخشوا الشركات دي ويتدربوا اثناء الصيف.
مدارس أحد دون بوسكو رود الفرج بيجوا من المناطق القريبة من المعهد هنا من رود الفرج.
The young people who frequent the Salesian work are youngsters from the area.
اسمها الوراق. الأولاد والشباب اللي بيجوا معظمهم فقراء ومن مناطق شعبية.
Many young people come from beyond the Nile. They are quite poor, from the most populated areas, and are all Christians. The oratory provides an educational base for these youngsters, above all with an hour of catechism for all ages, from the youngest to the oldest, every Friday, after an hour of recreation, at about 5 o'clock. We also have a Mass on Sunday at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. We also have learning groups for educators and helpers, with theatre courses, singing courses, and dancing classes, and a continual assistance for the youngsters wherever they may be. The group animators are more than 30 in number.
كده الأولاد والشباب بيحسوا إن هم دايما متواجدين في أسرة واحدة، حاسين إن هم محبوبين من المسؤولين ومن الخدام، وكده بيقدروا يكبروا وينموا في التكوين يوم بعد.
The third Salesian work in Egypt is at Zeitun, a district on the outskirts of Cairo. Here the Salesians have been present for just over 30 years with an oratory and youth centre and a recently added parish. It's not easy to get here. You have to cross a labyrinth of roads full of potholes. The district is dreary, as if reflecting the delusion of those who live here.
نحن هنا بمصر.
Cairo, being the capital of Egypt, is home to many immigrants. Most of them are from Sudan. Almost 2,000 came when the war began in southern Sudan, followed by an influx of immigrants. Today there are about 10,000 immigrants, all Christian. Our youngsters are all Christians. We dedicate 3 days to the youngsters from Sudan and the following 3 days to the Egyptian faithful. As soon as I arrived in Cairo, I went to the center straight away. I'm in the church choir. For me, Don Bosco is a family. He was always on the side of young people and children, welcoming and loving everyone, and this makes me happy. I go to the school during winter, and next year I will go to the university. In the summer, I work in the factories, or in the houses, or at the markets, wherever there is work to be done. The small oratory courtyard is open to all the youngsters. At the beginning of the afternoon, between 3 and 5, the younger children of the 5th elementary classes attend. From 5 to 7, the youngsters from the middle schools attend, and after 7, the older ones. At the end of the first session for the smaller children, they end with a prayer, which leads to a way of helping these very poor families.
في كتير أحداث تأثرت فيها بمصر. ممكن أحكي 2 خبرات صغيرين، يعني واحدة من المرات.
There are many youngsters who have left an impression on me, and I can talk about 2 examples. To start with, at 7:30 we have a prayer session. A little girl of 10 years old asked me when the prayer session would be, and I said afterwards. After 5 minutes she asked me the same question, and I said, if you want to pray, there's the church. But she said, I'm hungry. This affected me greatly, in that after the prayers we share food, and many of them ask if they can take the food offered to them to their mothers. Another story that affected me was during the summer activities, where we have a day in which we tell stories, a day dedicated to manual activities, and a day dedicated to games. One day, a young boy who had been helping us was told to go home. It was past midnight, but he insisted on staying. I envy these youngsters because they always want to help. You can't imagine the good this has done me and how uplifted it makes me feel.
كنت حكون بالقهوة وما تعرفش بالقهوة بنتعلم إيه. أنت عملت خير كبير فيا هنا، وأنا بفضل الشغل ده يوم من الأيام ممكن أكسب السما فوق.